All
The only
right,
thing I've had to
and
eat
we're
today is just
live.
tortilla chips.
Ooh, potato chips. What type of potato
No,
chips?
no tortilla
Oh,
chips.
tortilla chips.
I just bought some tortilla chips.
Not the tortilla chips we saw on the show, though.
Ah, fair, fair. Noxies is first, and with the hydration. Everyone hydrate for
Yeah,
the Noxies.
I've been hydrating for 10 minutes.
Good,
Noxels, you
good.
got more than you needed from that hydrate redeem.
I am here, chat. Never fear. Dragon is here, Dial. Yes.
And Chad, look, it's a lad's day.
It's a lads' day. Lads, 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 lads. Hi, Crow.
Look at these nerds. Hey,
Nerd
you're looking pretty nerdy
Dial.
yourself there.
All right, welcome to episode 28 of AniBites, the anime podcast. Let's
Yay, golf clap.
go. Golf clap all around, baby.
I wish my mic could pick that up. There you go.
And this week was my choice. And we chose Metallic Rouge. It was a
What's this
very.
week?
I chose this because it was impulsive and the artwork looked pretty. But
It is a
let
very pretty show.
yeah, wow.
Oh.
So let's first start with the question. Let's say we have a sentient-ish robotic people walking around that humans made. We are they objects? We treating them like people? What we doing? What we doing?
Let me move my mic at the risk
I mean,
of
I've
interrupting.
seen enough sci-fi films and read enough sci-fi books. Although I still haven't read "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep," despite owning it.
Mm.
I honestly, it would depend on how far they take the technology, because there is a point where where like it looks and acts as human as it can be, but it's still just the machine.
Mm.
Where like you tell it to do something ludicrous and it'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't care.
Mm.
But but then there's the points like where you put so much thought in like self-preservation, and it starts developing things that it shouldn't, like ghosts in the machine basically.
Mm.
And eventually you're like, yeah, where's the thin line between this thing being a
What
machine
is
and this
life?
thing being a person? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I as much as people might give the movie some flack, especially nowadays because Will Smith was in it. I really like listening to the professor speak in iRobot, where he's like, when does a difference engine become like uh, the search for truth and stuff like that? It's a really good quote. I love, like,
Mm.
I will, like, unironically just suddenly get the urge to listen to that quote and just listen to that quote while I'm at work on my phone or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, very deep moral quandary there.
It is. It's very. It's a hard question. It's a hard question.
Hmm.
Where does that line go? Are they self-sufficient? Are they? Yeah.
Are they just following
Are they
programs,
just
or did
following
they?
programs? How far can we take it?
Yeah, or did they grow beyond their programming?
Mm. Mm. Okay. Very interesting.
Look at Crow calling us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fucking nerd too, and he loves it.
On my side, I don't know, dude. It's such a gray line because if you do the consciousness transfer, then I feel like it's a person.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you do a consciousness transfer, then it's a person. But if you make a robot and you run a program for them to act and look human,
Mm. Mm.
I don't know if it's like you should treat everybody you run into with like respect. There are certain scenarios in which like I used to use like Siri and I told her thank you whenever she did something for me. But
That was
like
nice of you. All I've ever told her is shut up.
um if you completely make an artificial life form, like does that get to vote? Do you get to make voters? Is that a thing you get to do? And it's like, I don't know.
It's a fair point. It's
It's
a fair
like
point.
that's why I'm saying it's like, okay, well, let's say
DDoSing the voting method.
yeah. It's like a political party that you don't agree with makes a million robots that will vote for that side. It's like, what do you do?
Mm,
Well, if you decided that they're people, then they have a voice that needs to be heard.
It's a
And
fair
it's like,
point. Fair point.
Yeah. Of course. No, I agree with you. I'm just gonna bring up because someone always will have this counter argument. It'll always be valid. How
And
do
it
you
will
know they're
always be
not
you.
just? Yeah. Fuck you. But yeah, there will always be someone who's like, yeah, no, they're not real art life forms. They were just programmed to vote that way. Yeah, but like you said, it is a very thin line. It's very gray.
That gray area is super weird.
It's super
Yeah.
Kind of
weird.
weird.
I mean, even the consciousness transfer is kind of gray area for me, because I'm like a streamer you and I both watch, Brownie. Like he doesn't. He said if teleportation technology existed, he would never do it because he would kill him and then just rebuild something that has all his memories.
Yeah, it's the concept between us. Like, what would you rather do? If it's a wormhole or a gate and you walk through it and you appear somewhere else, then that makes more sense. But if it's a teleporter, then you run into the argument. It's like, oh, is it disintegrating my body and then making a second body that has all of my features and memories? And it's just like, okay, well, is that what that does? Because if that's what teleportation is, then that's horrifying and I wouldn't do it.
Exactly.
But if it's a wormhole and you just walk through the portal and it's like, okay, that one.
Oh yeah, no.
It's a
2
fair
points
point.
in time that shouldn't in space
Yeah.
and time that shouldn't be touching are touching. Yeah, I'll go through that.
That's
Yeah.
actually
And
a.
then you-
Yep. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just going to finish this
Yeah,
thought.
no.
It's like, okay, well, it's like, now if you have to make the argument, well, they both have to have a downside. What if they both have a downside? I was like, okay, well, now do we go into the Warhammer 40K thing, where it's just like, okay, well, or what people know more, Minecraft, where it's just like, okay, well, you can theoretically walk from here to Tokyo if you wanted to. You gotta go through hell, but it's real short. You only got to be there for a moment, but you got to go through hell. You literal hell.
I don't know if this applied to the comic. I know that it applied in the cartoon.
Nightcrawler.
In X.
Yeah.
What?
Nightcrawler.
No, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in X-Men Evolutions they found out we can make Nightcrawler go further with his teleportation. All we have to do is make him wear this device that slows him down and lets him be in the in-between place he goes to longer, and put on this mask just in case the environment is hostile. And yeah, the environment was actually hell, and like being in there longer actually drew the attention of like demons and stuff
Yeah.
in the cartoon.
That's so gnarly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That is
Yeah.
scary. But to sidetrack back to a little bit, fun fact about specifically, it's the creators of ChatGPT that specifically mention it, but everyone who has an operable AI type thing, so Gemini, Siri, anything like that, it actually costs more money when you add the more for processing. If you add a please and thank you when you're asking your question. So if you go like, or Google, so like if you say, "Hey Google, can you please tell me the weather?" Like that uses more power to process. So it actually
Weird.
costs the
So
company
it's a
more money.
negative,
Yeah.
polite.
Yeah. So they somewhat
They're
recently,
threatening us to be
yeah,
rude robots.
somewhere recently they were like, please stop doing this. You're costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars because too many people are
Yeah,
saying please and thank you to the AI, and it's got to
that's
process
so
that.
nutty.
And I just think that's kind of funny. And then going back to the
No, it is.
teleporter thing, it's actually that very argument is used very much in with Trekkies on why teleporting is actually bad because
Oh yeah, I know they're
it's
Oh,
brought up
yeah.
in Enterprise, the series, where initially the humans won't use it to bring anything until after the Zendi disaster, or something with a Z disaster, where it's like this Enterprise crew has to start teleporting themselves out because what it's designed to do is rip molecules apart and then take the molecules nearby on the receiving end and build the pattern back together.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek has done a
Yeah.
very good job of tackling that subject because they have characters in the show who won't use teleporters, who
Mm-hmm.
go through shuttle. And everyone will be like, "It took you so long to get here," and like, "I'm not using that teleporter."
Yeah.
And then at least on 2 instances, I believe they've had instances where the teleporter malfunctioned and it teleported somebody who was already there. So now there's just two versions of that person there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yup, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a movie that came out recently? Which was that? Which was it's like, oh, here's this
Oh, Mickey
you
17.
yeah. You signed up to do this super dangerous job, and it's just expected that you're gonna die, but you have like this weird insurance false body kind of thing going on.
Mm,
And it's like, but what happens when it activates because it thinks you died, but you didn't actually die, and now there's two of you.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Interesting.
I haven't seen the movie myself, but from what I've heard from people, like they also kind of fuck with the copy as well because I know like the second copy is like a little more aggressive than the first in the movie.
oh, okay,
Interesting.
got you. I
Interesting.
Yeah,
remember. What did I read? What the? I'm struggling to remember what it is I'm thinking about. But there's another version of this in which like a lady goes through a teleporter and the teleporter
Yeah.
the version of the teleporter is like clearly like terrible where it's like, oh, the teleporter just does a high intensity scan of you and then it rebuilds you at point number 2 and then it just kills body number 1.
Oh, no.
It just shoots a death beam and it destroys you. The death beam's malfunctioning today. Now there's two of you.
Ew.
And like the story is literally this lady being like, "Okay, well, does my health insurance still work for me because I'm there's two of me now? Who does my house belong to?" Like it's like the deed's not good for two people. Like do I kick her? Do I fight her in gladiatorial combat and then whoever wins is the real Zoe? Like I don't it's I don't remember where it's from, but I remember reading like a it was probably like a short story or something that I found on the internet.
I mean
That
But
probably.
it just reminds me of that.
that's a that in itself is. I like how you jumped immediately to gladiatorial combat because I have been a long-standing proponent in most office spaces I have ever worked, where I think office decisions should be solved by impromptu hockey fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no one ever takes
And
me up on that, but I think that'd be a great way to solve office politics. You've got a problem with Jen in accounting. Gloves are off. Let's go. You get 30 seconds, and then the ref steps in and separates you. The one, and then you both get put into the penalty box. The problem solved. Like
That's so fucking stupid, dog.
and,
That's so good.
and you
What
know
the
what?
fuck?
This will be the last I mentioned before we go too off topic, but yeah, a long time ago, I was in a forum where someone was like, "Yo, if you had a clone of you, like exactly as you are, appear in front of you, and you knew that the clone was going to like disappear in like 24 hours, but
you'd
and the
fuck
clone
it.
knows that too, yeah, no, would you fight it or would you fuck it?"
Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I chose fight.
I mean, who's to say you there? Listen, as long as it's not technically domestic violence, I mean, who's to say you couldn't do both?
Uh,
do both.
yeah.
You could do
In my
both.
case, I am aggressively hetero, so I would not fuck myself. So I would just fight myself.
But wouldn't it just be okay? Well, then hold on. Let's take this conversation to a different level.
Both
Which would
sounds good. I would do my best to do both.
you do? Okay, Brownie has decided to end this conversation before it gets too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that raises the next question of, well, what wouldn't it just be masturbation then?
It depends on your point of view. It's very that Star Wars moment. From a certain point of view, yes.
From a certain point of view, yes.
So anyway,
Everyone
we're
has
talking about Metallic Rogue.
Rouge, not
Rouge,
Rogue.
Rouge. I'm sorry. I saw the
Well,
word out the
So yeah, no. The only reason I'm uptight about this is because for years, even now, I still want to call Rouge the Bat, Rogue the Bat.
Yeah. Well, I blatantly call her Rogue the Bat. I think it makes more sense for her character.
It really does.
I guess. You know,
Yeah.
oh.
But
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I want to ask this. I'm sorry if this is taking the mic away from you, Phoenix.
No, go for it.
How many episodes did you all get in?
I got into episode 6.
I got 3 episodes in, and I started episode 4 this morning, but I got super distracted because I really wanted breakfast, and then I went and eat breakfast, and there was a bunch of anime
What did you have for
on Sundays,
breakfast?
and then I did that. I had a sandwich, my leftover rice, so that way I can make new rice. Yes, that's it.
Fair.
I was just hungry.
And I got 4 episodes in.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, three left off on the cliffhanger of like her being like down there in the city, and I don't know what happens after that.
Well, we won't say anything then. But yeah, I mean I was actually fairly surprised at this. I really didn't expect much going into this.
Same.
Because it was really like it's been on my watch list for a few weeks now. I know nothing about it. I just happened to pick it because I liked the little thumbnail on Crunchyroll. And I panicked because I was a little late getting you guys a choice, so I was just like, here. It's on my watch list.
Yeah.
So I'm
probably honestly gonna do the same today because I know it's my turn, and it's just like I'm probably just gonna use today as an excuse to keep going through my watch later list.
Yeah.
You both do you, man.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
I always have to be taught out.
Yeah, I actually think that's kind of primarily where this all started anyway. So I don't want anyone to ever feel bad like I'm clearing out the watch list because that's basically what I envision that this being used as, with the maybe like the sprinkling of, oh, have you watched this? This is great. Or have you watched this? This is awful. Because I am promising you next choice is going to be one of the worst ones I have ever watched. So my next choice is going to be purposely bad.
By the way, chat, everything we say in here is our own opinions and does not reflect everything about how you should feel about an anime.
That is true, but the one I'm thinking of is legitimately, I think, generally considered objectively bad.
Oh God.
That doesn't mean like the one person out there who likes it doesn't mean you're wrong to like
true.
it. It just
That's
means,
true.
Yeah.
I will make fun of you for liking it, but you're literally in the call.
That's kind of small.
Yeah, and
Yikes.
Boy, does that remind me of oh God, there was like a review on Doom Eternal, and it was just like, oh yes, the enemies are so fun to fight, XYZ blah 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 review, and then he gets to the Marauder, and it's just like it's like, yes, the Marauder, a subject of controversy.
Who's he?
Because he breaks the triangle It's like if an enemy does a lot of damage and is really fast, they have to be made out of paper. If an enemy's really fast and really tanky, they should do no damage. It was like they should be like a loot goblin. And I was like, and then all this stuff. It was like, no, the Marauder's just all three. He has a shield that is completely impervious to damage. It'll tank a BFG shot. Uh, um, he moves incredibly fast and he does a shit ton of damage.
Damn.
And it's just like, so everybody was like, we hate the Marauder, we hate this character. And then the guy on the review was like, the Marauder is a great character. I love fighting this guy. He's such a difficulty check, and he's so fun to fight against. And if you don't like fighting the Marauder, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're bad.
Sleepy, don't make me come over there. I swear to God.
So it just reminds me of
Wait,
just
the
like,
Marauder
it's
can
objective.
tank a fucking BFG? That's fucking nuts.
If
That's
you shoot him head
crazy.
on and his shield is up, he will tank the BFG round.
That's insane.
It
That's
is- he
so insane.
can absolutely take it.
The whole point of that gun is to like one shot anything.
rim.
That's
Yeah.
That's why
Oh.
the ammo for it is so scarce. What the fuck?
Now that I think about it, even if you shoot it to like his left or right or above him, he will literally just move his kite shield because he's got a kite shield in one hand and a battle axe in the other hand.
Yeah,
And
okay.
he'll switch between the shield and the shotgun, which is why it's like when you're at a certain ranges, like, okay, well, this is his opening. Like he literally unequipped his shield. Here's your chance to do damage. So even if you miss quote unquote the BFG shot and you try to hit him with splash damage, he will just move his shield in order to block it.
To intercept the splash damage. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yep, he will.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like everyone has different opinions on things because, like, I know one of the biggest
Alright.
complaints for Godzilla for the PS4, like everyone was just like, oh, the person who pops up is annoying to listen to every time you play the game.
It was
I
Paimon.
played the game and I played the game and I enjoyed that person because it made me think, yeah, fucking give a live update to all the carnage I'm doing in this city.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just like, oh, you're telling me I'm 97%. You know what that means? There's 3% more I need to destroy before I go to the final thing I need to destroy.
That's actually kind of funny. I like that.
Yeah,
Committed.
99%. Nah, man, I need that 100 before I destroy that last thing. I want people to know I was here.
Fair,
Godzilla was
fair.
here and he was pissed.
Pissed. But
Anyway,
yeah, but all right. So who wants to do a general summary of what they've seen so far? I'm gonna do that. Who wants to do that? Because
I mean, Brownie and I talked about it a little bit, and I feel like if I go first, I'd just be stealing Brownie's thunder because he and I not super collaborated, but we came to like the same ish conclusion. So I'll let him go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So a brief summary of what this show has shown within the first 3 episodes is we are clearly living in a sci-fi future,
Mhm.
at least pretty optimistic world, honestly. Like we ran as a species, human beings, we ran into aliens,
Mm-hmm.
and it went well, which is great because a lot of
That is
people are
great.
very pessimistic about our first encounter. Like if
Yeah.
we ever run into if we live long enough as a species to run into aliens, we are not optimistic about first encounter.
No, we're not.
No.
So it's great that it worked out for this universe. Of course, there's going to be some shitters. There was an alien race. A war happened. Humanity then
Oh.
made.
Oh yeah, no, first encounter was good. Second encounter was
What
shit.
is that? Why you have ducks running everywhere?
So one of the big points, once again, I don't have like a huge understanding on what's going on with the story.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as humanity is, it's like we are kind of trying to live our lives with this race of people called. I watched it in Japanese. They're called like
Same.
the Neons.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
I watched in Japanese as
neons,
well. Yeah.
Yeah,
neons. So, yeah,
it's
some.
kind of hard to pronounce because it's not something that I've pronounced before. There are some sci-fi terms where like somebody's like, "Oh yeah, Omicron" or something. I was like, "Yeah, I've heard that word before," and I was like, "I could say that." There's a lot of words going
Yeah,
I mean, if it makes it easier for you, you could just call them the Blade Runner term, replicants,
the replicant. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
because they
The
basically are. But I'll get to that when it's my turn. You go first.
yeah,
Mm.
the whatchamacallit, um, the boys, the neens, the
Mm.
neons.
Neons. We'll call
Um,
them neons. That sounds right.
they were, I believe, they were primarily created to fight in the war
Mm-hmm.
against on our second encounter.
Yeah.
And now that the war is basically was there like a peace treaty signed? Is
That's what
that what
they.
happened?
That's what they said in like 4,
So we're
basically.
so
Yeah.
we're cool now. So they're still there, but we're cool.
At the
Ye-
very least, the war is
The
over.
yeah, the
At the
war
very
is
least.
over at the bare minimum. And as far as I can tell, I don't believe I have seen that alien species.
So it's interesting being like, okay, well, we've created. This might be a little presumptuous of me. We've created death bots, and now we have to
Yeah,
live with
kinda.
them.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, based on what I've seen on episode 4, they're not really all that deadly, but or at least most of them aren't. But we'll get to that.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to do spoilers for Brownie, but I don't think that this is over a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler at all. Primarily because I don't believe that it has it so far as I've watched it has not affected the story in any capacity.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
it does look like there are specifically combat units, specifically worker units, or specifically children units. Like it looks like there's different
Yeah.
designations.
Because you're robotic and you don't grow up, it did come off as kind of weird to run into a child unit. And then he did very promptly explain his existence. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense. That's got to be a very weird life, though.
it is. Yeah. So for what Brownie is talking about, there's you do meet a child neon, and one of his things is like, oh, I've been with like 26 families. I've had like 26 parents because his sole purpose is to be there for people who want to have kids but can't
Mhm.
for some reason.
Yeah,
And
they
it
stole the plot from AI.
and it's
That-
it's interesting. Yeah, it's as with AI, it is a very interesting need that could potentially
that they
be
can
worth
fill.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's very interesting that they're able to kind of break that down. So it's not like, oh, you're producing one unit and it handles combat. You might be producing a worker unit, or like they work on buildings or mechanic units, or
I'm sure there's a
yeah.
maid unit out there. I'm sure.
Oh, there has to be. This
Yeah.
is if in a perfect Earth future, there's definitely robotic maids.
Remember,
Why
chat.
is that funny to me?
Do not fist android girls. You'll risk your hands.
Yeah, all that grindy, all those gears,
It
crunch, crunch,
grinds them
crunch,
gears.
crunch. They come with a tattoo over the port that just has the hand being crunched with gears logo for like
Oh yeah, that
industrial
little gang
materials.
sign.
Yeah.
That meme will never die, and I'm glad about it.
So to continue off where I left off a little bit,
oh, sorry.
that's kind of our universe. It's I don't know what the deal is behind like these Well, what are they? The nine?
Oh,
The
the
nine.
Immortal Nine.
Or the
Yeah, the
Immortal
Immortal Nine.
Nine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or why are
Well, I wouldn't
are you
consider
good,
this.
lady?
Yep.
I didn't expect the Elder Scrolls joke to get her. So forgive me that you threw off my groove. You threw off my groove.
I'm sorry.
You
You threw
threw
off Brownie's groove.
you threw off Brownie's groove out the window with you.
Oh man. So yeah, I don't
Oh, but
know. I don't know
this isn't
shit
much of
about
a.
our main character outside of she likes chocolate. I don't
Mm,
know
mm.
anything about our supporting characters. Like they're doing a really good job of just throwing characters at you and just being
Talks
like,
to a bird.
you'll know.
Yeah,
You'll figure it out eventually. We'll tell you,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hopefully.
yeah, and I know
By
I'm
the
not
way,
that much
this
further ahead, but they continue to do that. Like they don't really explain what's going on.
yeah, and in episode 3, I don't consider this a spoiler because it's that early. They are like Immortal 9, or I guess technically Immortal 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she's dealt with some.
yeah.
And no, Chad, it didn't happen all in 3 episodes. You'll have to watch to understand why.
Mm, mm.
Though I do have to admit, I'm surprised that they were willing to just hit the action right away, episode 1 and 2. So me going into 3, I was like, are we going ham?
Yeah,
Because it was like, because
And
episode 1 they do the fight against the Stinger lady,
Mhm.
and then in episode 2, they're on the convoy going traveling from point A to point B,
Mm.
and they get jumped by the mercenaries, and they have to fight the old war machine.
yeah,
And then it was like, and then episode 3, I was like, oh, okay, are we? I'm kind of like, I got my dukes up. I was like, are we going in again? Again? And I was like, no, okay. They relaxed a little bit. So, but
Yeah.
I imagine episode
They were-
4 we go back in.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Okay.
Not big spoiler.
Not big spoiler. Yeah, not big
I
spoiler.
mean, you saw how 3 ended. It ended on a cliffhanger, Chad.
Mhm,
So
Yeah.
mhm.
But yeah, no, it's an interesting series so far.
Well-
I don't want to jump us ahead too far, but like I'm intrigued. I'm not quite sure what's going on fully, but it's not like a bad like what the hell's going on. It's like a oh
Mhm.
what? Like
You know what it gives me vibes of?
this is why I let you go first. Go ahead, say it.
yeah.
No, you're good. I think I brought this up with Sleepy the other day. It
Yep.
gives me Adult Swim vibes. It
Oh,
gives me like
yeah.
it gives me Toonami vibes because it's like when I used to watch, like Toonami, like where it gives me Bebop vibes. It gives me Outlaw Star vibes. Like
Trigun.
you
Yeah.
here's an adult character. They're not in high school. Here
Yeah.
are adult characters with a fairly serious tone throughout the series. And there's jokes, of course. There's little things that you can giggle at, but it's like, here's just we're gonna give you this story, and we're gonna give you a bumper in the middle of the episode. It does the here's where you cut for commercial break. That's like ba-bomb, episode
Yeah.
3, the city, and then it's and then it cuts back, and I was like, okay. I was like,
I do like that.
I get it's nice because it gives me a sense of time because like, okay, the episode's half over. Got you, understood.
And it tells you
I'm
the
like, it's
episode
not
name.
yes, and you get the episode name as well.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as like, Row Fight the Power, and it's like, okay, it's not like iconic, but it's still nice to have. And I forget
really
how much
is.
I like it when I don't have.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I missed it now that I got an anime that has one back again.
Well, was it last week we talked a little bit about yeah, because it was the one that we were watching on Amazon where it didn't have that bumper and it just
the Magic Girls one, yeah.
yeah, where
Yeah.
where it was like there wasn't that bump bump where the commercial break hit. It was just kind of boom, commercial.
Yeah, and we went on that whole tangent
Yeah.
about how commercials have changed and how despite how despite it's better to watch stuff on the computer, TV commercials are still better than computer commercials.
Also, Noxie says hydrate, everyone. Everyone take a sip.
Okay, I got my water next to me. I'll do it.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you, Brownie, but it was just a,
No,
it's
you're golden.
it was we just talked about that last week, where it was nice. It was kind of nice to have that boom boom, and see kind of how that title related to what was going on, currently was kind of cool too.
Yes.
Because I'm assuming that they still have it, but I haven't watched any of the recent Pokemon stuff. But to go back to even that far, where you had the "Who's that Pokemon?" and then it'd be the commercial break, and then when you came back, it was like,
yeah.
"It's Pikachu!"
in Coughing's body.
Yeah.
I hear Pokemon Horizons is really good.
Oh.
The newest season.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched Pokemon outside of like the original 2-3 seasons, like the ones that came out way back when.
Mhm.
But so the last thing I'm thinking of is when it comes to Pikachu is how much of a dickhead he really was at the beginning, which is
I feel like the old fans will
that's-
never let him live that down, and as they should.
yeah
That's literally episode 1. Yeah.
yeah
I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted with that mentality, Sleepy, because it's like I do like it when characters like have growth and they change and stuff like that. And so it's just like, okay, well, I do recognize what you used to be, but I also appreciate you more as the person you are now. But also at the same time, it's like, yeah, I can't help but be petty sometimes and be like, I remember when you were a dick.
yeah.
I never forget, unfortunately.
Ash was savage too, though. Like I love that.
He was.
Yeah,
I would say he was more dumb than savage, but yeah,
Well, I mean, when you
he got
look at
better.
the things he used to say to Misty, like like bugs are the scariest thing on the planet, or the top 3 scariest things. Well, besides you, what's the other 2 things? Like he would say shit like that. Or like when he met Brock's dad, you're the good for nothing loser husband that left their family unattended all those years ago. It's like, that's so
Well, I
harsh,
mean, his
man.
dad described himself as that,
Well,
though.
yeah, but it's like
I-
you didn't need
the
to
first one,
repeat it like that.
I don't know. I could probably go on not a tangent, but like I probably could give reasons why I'm okay with him saying that, but that's not why we're here. We're not
Yeah.
here to talk about Ash. We're not here to talk about Pokemons.
That's right, Pokemons. Pocket
We're here
monsters.
we're here for Metallic Rouge.
That's right.
Any more things you wanted to say, Brownie?
No, other than that, it's like I got those 3 episodes in, and I I don't remember the name of her name off the top of my head. I could probably just look it up right now. I always appreciate a good character, the character design of dark skin with light hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't ever get too much of those, but when we do get them, they're nice.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they've gotten substantially better at at different different race anime characters, like because I mean you look back as far as the original Dragon Ball, and don't get me wrong, product of its time and whatnot. And I still like the series, but you go back to see any of the black characters, and they are coming right
Questionable.
kind of off of that
People are still mad about Popo.
yeah. Well,
It came out.
Yeah.
It came out in the 80s, and you can tell.
yeah, you can. I mean, I wasn't even bringing up Popo per se, but I mean, I feel
Now
like Popo
yeah,
is
that's what
definitely that one was more of a
Popo is
yeah
is the poster child. That's the only reason I bring him up. Is
yeah
like he's the poster child of product of its time for Dragon Ball. The second place would be Master Roshi's attitude.
yeah yeah
Oh, yeah,
because
I
he's
definitely
definitely
want to go
calmed
for
down in
that.
recent generations of the Dragon Balls. Like he's nothing like
Like he's not like
yeah.
he was, but people still have issue with him.
Well, yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean he's designed to be a womanizing character. Um, that's why you don't see oh crap, who's the pig? Why am I blanking on
Oolong.
his Oolong? You don't see him often anymore. Um, either. But
I don't know. I don't feel like he was that bad. But then again, I don't know.
well, I
Especially
mean,
when you put him next to Roshi. But yeah,
well, I mean, first meet Oolong, and he's basically kidnapping women.
yeah. But that's a whole different discussion. That I don't want to go down that rabbit
Yeah.
hole because you are right. I'm gonna have to put that out there. But that is a whole discussion for like a
We'll
free
have
week
for a
discussion.
lot. Yeah, well, for
For a
maybe
week,
we'll do an
yeah.
episode outlining Dragon Ball and whatnot. That would be kind of cool.
That would
But
be, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I do think that this was it gave off going back to what we're actually supposed to be talking about. Um,
Yeah.
it kind of gave off a weird Ghost in the Shell vibe too. Like it was very much like here's this
Sci-fi.
organization, sci-fi. You know, they specialize in this. They're doing yeah, it's interesting. I've been oddly enjoying it. I think I'm pretty sure I'm enjoying it. At the bare minimum, I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah. From what I saw, I'd have to agree with Brownie. It does give off an early Adult Swim anime vibe because it really did feel like I was watching like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun,
Mm,
and all those old sci-fi anime where like there's clearly an established world and you're seeing bits and you're seeing episodic parts of their lives, but you're not getting like the whole picture.
mm,
And for me, that was semi annoying because I know a lot of sci-fi likes to do that, and they usually do it in movies, and it's kind of slow. And that's the one gripe I have about sci-fi is usually when it comes to like revealing the state about the world, they're usually pretty slow at it.
yeah,
Like I want to know like about the war that we only got touched on in episode 2. I want to know more about like what kind of restrictions the neons have and stuff like that.
Mhm.
mm.
I think
And
it's nice. I think it's nice when you do a bit of a bit of that kind of like foreshadowing, though. Like it's like,
yeah, no,
okay, well, I'm going to drop you in this timeline, and you're 30% in. And I was like, okay, but what happened at like the first 30%? I was like,
yeah,
okay, well, we'll get to that.
Mm.
yeah, no, I'm not against it, but it's just the pace of like I'm 4 episodes in and they haven't really explained anything. The pace is a little slow, and it's not just this one; it's anything in the sci-fi genre in general. Like Blade
Mm.
Runner and all those others, they do eventually reveal it to you, but they do it at a pace that I consider too slow.
Mm,
Sleepy's
I
impatient,
understand. I
Dio.
understand.
And this is coming from a guy who hates world building. I want the world building for this one.
Sleepy confused,
The
Dio.
wild world.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, going with the sci-fi comparisons, which again, uh,
Fuck you. I
I was
deserved it,
doing
but
it to
fuck you.
myself. I was doing it to myself. Shut up. I felt it
Oh,
was
okay.
unfair to do it only to you and Brownie. So, but yeah, uh, yeah, the neons are 100% uh, the replicants from Blade Runner and the androids from the Alien franchise.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
and like they are not treated as people, and they have like special ones clearly sent out to find others. However, unlike the replicants from Blade Runner, they don't have to have like a test to see if they are if they are replicants or not, or how stable in air quotes they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they're definitely like at that point where like if, should they have rights? Are they a life form? Are they not? I swear to God, if they have a one of them have a child with a human, that's just ripping off the latest Runner movie, because then it blurs the line even more. But
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know because I don't know anything past. I mean, I've seen a little bit more, but basically, I know as much as you guys do, the current moment. Um, but I
I
don't
do.
think I would be surprised if they went that route with this show.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I could see why they wouldn't touch it, because, like I said, Blade Runner did that recently, and it's like, to my knowledge, the first sci-fi thing to do that, where like, hey, this robot and this human somehow had a child,
Mm,
or or replicant, which in Blade Runner's case is like human plus, basically. Like, they're not made of robot parts, but they're clearly built to be more superior than humans in every way. But I do like the sci-fi world of it so far. They are introducing characters, but they haven't explained too much about the characters themselves, which I'm fine with, because obviously that'll come up later in the story.
mm, mm. I agree.
But like, yeah, like I don't mind like the characters revealing them information about themselves slowly. It's like I said earlier. I just want the world itself to get a more in-depth explanation.
Sleepy wants world building, Dayo.
Yeah, again, this is coming from the guy who hates world building.
Well, yeah. If a series gets you interested enough in it, then you can care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, also I drew the comparison to the androids from Alien, because they said in, I think it was 3, but it might have been 4. Like, yeah, no, we are currently in the process of terraforming Venus, and we are sending wave
After
after
wave.
wave
Yeah.
of them there to terraform the planet, and they are dying in mass because that planet is so hostile.
Mm.
Damn.
And for any nerds out there who knows a little bit about Venus, Venus is a planet covered in volcanic activity with acid atmosphere.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so yeah,
Venus is one of the planets that's like closer to us to the sun. Yeah.
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 So crazy.
Yeah, so they're terraforming it, and they're sending them in mass, just like the Weyland Yutani company did with their terraforming androids.
Mm.
It
Mm.
reminds me of God, what does that remind me of? Destiny, where like they in like the Destiny universe,
Yeah,
they terraform once they had Golden Age technology, they terraformed a
Venus.
Venus. Yeah, oh wait,
No, they
was it
did.
Venus or was it Mercury? Well,
But
one world. Oh no, I think it was Mercury.
they did both.
There was one. Yes, they did terraform both, but there was one world where they were like, oh, they just covered it in solar panels and they turned it into a garden world.
Yeah, that was Mercury, yes, because that's
Yeah.
like the closest
Yeah.
planet to the sun.
Yeah. So they just covered it in solar panels and they turned it into a gardening world and they just solved fucking world hunger. It's just like you don't have to worry about food.
Mm. Mm.
We have a surplus. We have a whole planet for it.
Yeah, Venus was turned into like some sort of like academy planet.
Oh yeah, I remember Ishtar Academy. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Ishtar.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of it's kind of funny how so much sci-fi kind of overlaps, where it's just like, oh well, here's this setting in which we flips through pages, um created a virtual intelligence. I was like, yeah, that's been done before. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We've done
oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
a
mean,
thing.
I mean, even Outlaw Star, despite like taking place nowhere near the solar system, uh, has the sci-fi cliches, and it's better for it, honestly.
Mm. buzz, buzz. But
But I
yeah.
definitely, I do remember something I wanted to say. It definitely gave me Cowboy Bebop vibes because it the music sounds like it's from that era,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, it
just
does.
unfortunately, just like that era, I don't like that music. It's I'm not no hate to anyone who does like it. It's just I'm like, yeah, no, this feels like it's from that era. Man, I don't like this music still.
But I mean, I got a follow-up question, and then unless anyone has anything else they want to add, we can start doing our rating here.
Okay. Okay.
But
I love how childish the main character is. Just she's still learning to be like a person, and like when the kid is just staring at her with the chocolate bar, she just fucking scarfs the whole thing down
yeah,
so she doesn't have to stare.
fucking mood.
Dog, I saw a fucking meme like that not too long ago where it's like ladies, test your boyfriend to see how he reacts when you reach for his phone.
Phone.
And it's just like, and there's like a dinner table, or no, I think it's like
Yeah,
a
they're like
restaurant,
all
like at
eating.
a and then she reaches for his phone, but he grabs like his fucking biscuit and just scarfs it down immediately, and then she casually like takes his phone anyway, and he does not give a shit.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just didn't
like
want her to take his food.
yeah, well, they do. They do like a montage of that happening. All of them are reaching, and immediately they don't give a fuck about the phone. They just like cram whatever food is on their plate into their mouth, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on? Like, don't touch our food."
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
funny.
I mean, I get that the character is, like I said, still developing. You know, like being a human. But
Mhm.
at the same time, this is a very much a fuck them kids moment.
Yeah, that's my chocolate, motherfucker. Get your own. I love the fact that the grandma ended up being like this like have you ever heard of the supersonic lady? That was me. And just takes the
I mean,
fucking car. It's like
everyone has a past.
yeah, it's like and then she drove the vehicle too hard and the cables broke off. It's like fuck. Love that.
I
Love
I
that.
I I was gonna say I do like that like a lot of sci-fi is doing this now. Like remember when the bus's like autopilot was like broke?
Yeah.
The guy was just like, I don't know how to drive this.
Yeah, I haven't driven
I
this in decades, but like I don't know how to
yeah, like
drive
I've seen multiple like not only like sci-fi movies and shows, but like also like books where like like something goes wrong and then the guy's just like, you're gonna have to manually pilot it, and the pilot just like gives him this look like, oh fuck, we're dead.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm doing, man.
Uh, I I like the idea. No, I don't like the idea, but it's an
You don't.
interesting concept to
He
me
doesn't.
where it's
Jedi.
like where it's like, hey, here's the fuel that the neons need. Like it's their nectar. They need it like once a day or some shit, or like once a week or whatever the hell it is. It's like their
Mhm.
fuel.
X amount of time, but they need it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And and like in the first episode, people are stealing it because yeah, I heard you can get fucked up on this shit. It's like you're injecting basically motor oil into yourself, and you're just like, yeah, but it will fuck me up.
I mean, we are the human race. We have done stupider shit.
That's true.
Bath salts, Tide Pods.
Tide Pods, but
Mm-hmm.
but it blows me away where it's like a fully functioning drug market where it's like where let's inject I don't know the android equivalent of gasoline into our veins. It will be fine.
No, dude, I'll be fine. He wasn't fine.
He was not. He was indeed not fine. I also like how it has like a glow stick thing. Like you gotta like snap it and then it turns blue.
I thought that was so fucking
Yeah.
funny, dog.
That was
I don't
that,
know
that was
why. The
I thought it was
fucking
cool.
first episode, it looked like they were doing like a drug run where they were checking out the truck, and here's this Ben. He's got the Joker card.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh, look at him go, and he gets it, and he snaps the fucking thing like it's a glow
glow
stick. I was like,
stick.
all right, I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I took a little tension out of it. Like he's got a little.
It's a fucking glow stick.
Me personally. Me personally.
No, I honestly, I thought it was like a glow stick, that truly a glow stick thing. It took me longer than I would like to admit to realize that. Oh wait, it's that thing that they were looking for in like the scene prior. It's
Well,
that nectar
I
stuff.
thought he was activating the light to see the product. I didn't know
Yeah.
it was the product.
Mm.
I mean, I've seen enough like shows and movies where like the with drug dealers to like be like, oh yeah, no, that's the product. He's just turning it on so it works by snapping it, and then I'm just confused in the next scene where the neons just take it straight in the port, and I'm just like, they didn't snap it or anything. This is the snap optional,
Yeah, that's a good
or
point because the next time you do
or
see
is,
it, they don't need to snap it; they're just injecting it.
yeah, it's like, is the snap optional? Did they do it beforehand so it mixes? Like, what's going on? I want to know what's the snap there for.
Does the snap make it like double dose? Like what's it doing? Like supercharges it?
I don't know, man.
I don't know,
Sci-fi,
man.
sci-fi is weird.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're finishing up here. Any last minute comments, questions, concerns, riddles, jokes?
No, I think I'm dry on my end. Like I
Oh,
enjoyed
you
what
should
I
see you
watched.
should see a doctor about that, or use like Vaseline or something. Maybe
Yeah, I have a
moisturizer.
cream. It has
Got a
like
cream? Good.
it's got like fucking 12 letters in it. I can't even
How,
pronounce it.
how many episodes are there?
I think there's
12 or 13.
12. Yeah, 12, 13, I think.
Okay, this is just a hope. I hope they don't do an info dump on episode 11 or 12. I don't like it
Maybe.
when shows do that. I understand why for like atmosphere. I don't like it still.
I think it would
Hmm.
depend. Again, I know nothing about it. I think Bones does it, but I'm not sure.
Well, I mean,
Um.
they're the ones who animated it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Um. But I guess it will depend on whether or not they think they're going to get another season or not. And I don't know how long ago this was. I mean, it might very well not be getting a second season. But if they don't think that they're going to get a second season, they'll info dump hard.
I
Would
think
be
they
my
should have info dumped, or maybe not info dump. I think they should have just drip fed it to us throughout the season to begin with. That would have been a much bigger hook, at least for me.
I like the slow burn. This has been a good hook for me.
Well,
But
that's why I said like the
yeah.
drip feed, not like dump it all at once. But I mean, it came out in 2024, so
Oh,
we'll
then
see.
then maybe, yeah, maybe they will. But I would imagine that that tends to always be in, or at least in my opinion. I mean, I have no status or facts or statistics to back it up or anything, but it always feels like if they don't have a guaranteed, oh, like you're getting a second season, it's always episode 10, 11, and 12 where they are just like finish it up as quickly as possible. Go. Um,
I mean, I don't mind that in terms of like plot speed and but not with like information.
yeah.
Also, not for character development as well. But that's yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that I enjoy it. I'm saying that's what most
Yeah.
companies end up doing. Is they just kind of
Hey,
like,
Star.
hi, Star, look at that cool kitty. But yeah, okay. So I'll ask the question. We'll start with Sleepy.
Yeah,
What's your biting, huh? You biting? You nibbling? You pushing it
yeah.
off
I'll
the
bite
table
this.
like a cat? You chomping it? What you got? What you got?
Yeah, I'll bite this definitely.
Good bite. All right, all right.
Yeah,
Right.
hopefully, because I'm just an assumption. Hopefully because you said you got to 6. Hopefully,
Yeah.
7 onwards before the last 2 episodes, they'll drip feed us more information. Again, I don't like the info dump, but if even if they do that, the world might be interesting enough for me to get into season 2 if they have one.
Mm-hmm. Fair, fair.
I don't think there's currently a season 2.
Yeah,
There will
well,
be.
well, no, I mean if they announce one, I mean
Mhm.
there's not one now, but I don't know if they will or not. If they do, good. If not, I'll be sad, but I understand.
fair,
Mhm.
fair. Brownie boy, how about you?
I think I'm willing to keep watching it, honestly. I think
Okay.
I'm probably gonna give it. I think I'm probably gonna give it a nibble. I'm probably gonna like steadily go through it. I'm not gonna like binge it or anything. Just little by little, I'll probably keep watching the episodes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. I'm probably gonna give it a nibble as well. I will continue watching it. I don't think I'm gonna binge it, but I'm intrigued by it. I don't know who I would recommend this to, but I've been enjoying
Sci-fi
it.
lovers.
Yeah, I even so like I can think of better sci-fi ones though, like I don't know who I would
I don't.
I
I don't
would
really know if I
yeah.
can think of any better sci-fi ones
Um,
because all the other sci-fi ones tend to lean heavily into the politics,
that's fair.
which
That's
again is
fair.
interesting. Which is interesting for some people. I will say that, not for this one.
That's fair. I mean, I guess I would recommend it for
So
we've been stick bug chat.
for the yeah,
Yeah, we've
I
been
gotta
stick bugged.
say, this is probably one of the animes I will give the very rare medal to, at least with the first 3 episodes. Of you can probably recommend this to a first time anime watcher.
Really?
I agree. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it
I
doesn't.
feel like there are some anime that are like very aggressively Japanese with like, oh, here's the cliche of like somebody being the lucky lecher. Here's the cliche of somebody being the 1,000-year-old lolly. Here's the cliche of like there are some anime things that happen
Mm-hmm.
in anime,
And then
and
there's
I
also
feel like
the fan service as well. Yeah,
this one is tame enough for you to be like, check it out. Yeah,
yeah
like
check it out.
it's like if you're interested in anime, it's like you can probably give this one a shot.
Yeah,
And then it's like if you don't like it, then I probably have another anime or two to recommend to you. But it's like if you can't get into it through here, then it's gonna be hard to do anything else because
Interesting.
there are some.
there are some anime out there who do
Oh
not
well, yeah, yeah.
touch the
they don't
brake.
hold
They
back. Yeah,
they don't touch the brake. They've got the hammer down.
they do not conceal their power level. They just go.
Although there are probably some people who just would like that, like as their first time anime as well. Just people who
You're
like the have
you're
the
you're not wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for the more normal person, I guess you could say, or average, not normal,
Normie.
then I would yeah the Metallic Rouge would be yeah Metallic Rouge would be the one I would recommend as a first timer.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know whether I would agree with that. Not to say that you're wrong. I just don't think
Yeah.
I would. Because
Well,
this
again, this would also be like for a sci-fi fan as well.
yeah, I mean maybe if they were like real like maybe if they were like hardcore Trekkies, I would probably maybe recommend it. But like I don't know, man. I feel like maybe they're looking for their third or fourth. Like they're still early on, but not their first one. I think I would like if they were looking for a sci-fi one, I'd actually probably send them more to a Gundam than a than this. You know?
Depends on what kind of sci-fi, because a Gundam is good. I agree, but that would definitely fall for me more into science fantasy than science fiction. It's not like aggressively over the line into science fantasy like like say Star Wars, but it's still just enough to where I'd be like, yeah, I don't know if you're into science fantasy, maybe this. If you're into more grounded sci-fi, then here's Metallic Rouge.
Okay. All right. Acceptable. All right. And with that, I will ask one last time. Any more comments, questions, concerns, quandaries, intrigues, riddles?
Why do you stink so much?
Dragon does not stink. Dragon smells very good. Dragon even conditioned their hair today. Smell very good, Dio.
I don't believe you just because you have a that man bun.
Brood, Dio. My hair taken care of. Very well, Dio. All right, all right. When with that, we will conclude episode 28 of AniBites, the anime podcast. I have
Thank you, Chad, for
recently.
speaking with us on Lads Night.
That's right, and this was Lads Night. Lads, 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 lads,
Lads,
lads,
lads,
lads,
lads,
lads, lads,
lads.
lads. Brownie didn't want to join in.
Running
He's-
it. Running
He's the serious lad.
Lads,
Lads, lads,
lads,
lads, lads, lads, lads.
lads.
I'm sorry.
I have
Don't be
recently
sorry,
noticed, and when I said recently, I mean just this moment. The title always says AniBites the podcast, and not the full title, which is AniBites the anime podcast. We will hopefully fix that in next week's episode, where Brownie will be doing the choosing of the episode. We
Hooray.
intend.
Yay!
Yay! It will be a good time.
Yay!
Good time, Dio.
Yay!
Yay!
I kind of want to be loud, but I don't know if I have the energy for it. Kind of lower energy right now.
Eeping. Eepy. All right.
Yeah, I'm EP.
Well, yeah. So join us next week. You can find Sleepy Corpse over here, right here on twitch.tv/Sleepy Corpse. He streams randomly. I think he's trying to get back into it. So make sure you give him a follow and a like and all that stuff. And you can find Brownie sometimes here on twitch.tv at that brownie, but primarily over on YouTube at Light Novel Brownie. And you should follow and like his stuff because it's really high quality, good shit. And hopefully one day he will
It is not
remember
high
to put
quality.
it in the self promo channel. So
I will never remember to put in self promo.
So I will remember to watch it not 12 weeks after it's first posted.
Let me go back and post one or two videos. I'm already working on the next one. Just as a
And
heads up, gang, anybody who actually watches my content on YouTube,
it's high quality, perfection.
I will be attempting to remember to put a warning on some videos. Because
Spoilers?
for spoilers, I have reached the end of Volume 2 for Campfire Cooking in Another World. We are now in Season 2 spoiler territory. The stuff that I am talking about has not happened in the anime yet. It has happened in the manga. So yes, I'm pretty sure the manga is only up to like book 2 or no, it's just only up to like 3 or 4. It's not much farther than the anime. We're probably going to get another one of those situations where the anime overtakes the manga again.
How completely is off task here, and I know we're shutting down, but how do we feel about that? Like, I'm always really concerned when one beats out the other, because then it like unless it's got like direct access to the author itself. Because
I don't think we're.
Go ahead.
Personally, I don't think we're ever going to run into the situation where we have Full Metal Alchemist and then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because like the anime outpaced the manga, and the manga was the only source material.
Yeah.
A lot of anime nowadays either have like a web novel or a light novel before it gets adapted into a manga or an anime. Every now and then it happens. It's not very common. You are just gonna run into it all the time though.
Yeah.
Well,
It just
The
makes me anxious, you know?
if they do
I will never
do a
not be anxious.
second if they do a
Dude.
second season of So I'm a Spider So What, I can guarantee you the anime will pass the manga again, because
They're on a break, aren't
I'm
they?
remember they have announced that they're trying to get season 2 greenlit, but there's nothing confirmed yet. But the speed in which the manga is getting translated, it's light novel wise. For Spider, I believe they're on the tail end of 7, or they're
Okay.
at the beginning of 8. And when they did season 1 of the anime, they did 5 books. So if the anime comes back within a reasonable amount, within a year, even if it's within a year, the anime will pass the manga again, because it did when the anime aired.
Fair.
I
Fair.
mean, they might just do the generic, open-ended ending. I mean, anime like to do that, and honestly, I prefer that
Yeah, I much prefer
uh
that.
over over some of it.
Well,
I want to mention this real quick. Brownie, earlier you mentioned the Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood situation.
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
I prefer that over the gargantuan amount of filler that Naruto and Bleach had.
Yeah.
Literal 100 episodes of filler for each of them.
I kind of
I
like that. I
honestly
like the
think
filler.
I did
it's
not.
it's fine if you like it, because that's such a stupid sentence to say out loud, but it's like yeah, of course it's fine if you like it. Well,
Yeah,
why wouldn't it be?
duh.
It's just it's content though. It's okay, well maybe you're not furthering the story that the characters are trying to do
Hydration
goal
time for
wise.
Nazis.
But as somebody who plays video games,
Mm.
there's plenty of times where like I'll go off and do side quest. Not everything I do is main story, just hit after hit after hit. I was like, I need to further my goals in order to. It's like, no, I get it. There's times where the fans want to spend time with their favorite characters, and it's just like, okay, well, I just want to watch Ichigo kick somebody's ass.
Mm, mm.
And I was like, okay, well, here, watch this filler arc where this guy's totally not a vampire, but he's kind of a vampire. And it's just like, okay, well, yeah, well, do it, do it. He's not going to get any. There's not going to be any meaningful relationship advancement. There's not going to be any meaningful power ups. There's not going to be any characters that stick around. So it's like they're
Oh,
there
I
for
have
this
a statement for
decide.
that, but I'll let you finish
Oh
first.
yeah, I said it and then I remembered and I was like, okay, well that's not true.
I have two things to say, but I'll let you finish your thought first. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's would you, now I want to propose a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got okay, we are now used to what we have as seasonal anime.
Hmm.
Here's 3 months in which you get 12 episodes, 12 or 13 episodes of anime.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you do that for a long running shonen such as Bleach, and
Okay. Yeah.
they're doing Thousand Year Blood War. You get your 12 episodes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind getting 12 episodes of quote unquote filler, or would you rather just have the break?
I would rather have the break. Just cut it right there.
Okay.
Mm. I'm a goblin. If I like the content, then I want the content. So I prefer filler. Like,
Yeah, the
I
reason.
think
Oh,
tell me about a dream Naruto had. Like fucking like
yeah. There's okay,
fill me with information.
as somebody who's a huge mark for that time I got reincarnated as a slime,
Mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm.
season 2 was airing, um it was good for 3 anime seasons, and people were like, why is it good for 3 anime seasons? And it's just like, okay, well, part the first 12 episodes are going to premiere, which is the first half of season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then it takes a break for 1 season. But it didn't. It premiered Slime Diaries. And
Oh
as somebody who
yeah.
enjoys the content, I was like, yeah, I just want to continue consuming more content. So of course I'm going to watch it. And then after that got done, we got back to the seriousness that is season 2. And I was like, okay, well, there you go. I got to enjoy more of the thing that I liked. So that even though by all intents and purposes, Slime Diaries is absolutely filler content.
Oh
It
yeah,
is not
100%.
important to the story
Nah,
at all,
you don't need to watch it
but I
at
love
all.
it.
But I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, going what I was going to say earlier. Yeah, no, I would rather cut it off because Naruto's. Well, I'll use the two big ones. Naruto's filler content is just like, well, when in later episodes in the series, you're just like, well, this is affecting the world, and these characters we were kind of attached to, but they're just completely off to the side. They might as well not even exist. So then, like, what's the point of even mentioning them?
That's
And
world
then
building.
they didn't really build the world. In fact, some of that information actually conflicted with other stuff. This is especially true in Dragon Ball's filler,
Dragon Balls.
where
You
they
said
were like,
dragon.
yeah, the seven
Oh.
Dragon Balls used to be one big ball created by blah blah blah, and
That's
then
true.
Toriyama
The doctor
did
had to
something, and he was
remove it,
just like,
break it up.
and then Toriyama was just like, no, here's not intentionally, mind you, but no, he was like, no, that's non-canon because of this other lore I dropped later on in the manga. And then the anime just when it got to Z, they just had to ignore that lore, but
Dragon
it's still there
remembers when he had one big
It-
ball.
in the filler.
The
And
doctor
as for
had to take
Bleach's
a hammer
filler,
to it. It was painful, Dio.
Why
I
are you
didn't.
like this?
That's just how he is. It's just how he be.
A
Yeah, and then for
broken
Bleach's
brownie.
filler, they had characters that they decided to keep around for the main stuff, but they went from being competent characters to being useless, and they were just kind of there, and you were just kind of like, why are you even here anymore?
We don't ask those questions. We just exist.
You've taken these cool characters and made them into just like fill-ins for the audience, just going, oh,
Oh. Oh, yes,
or
Dio.
for Speed Racers fans, oh, ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just like, man, you're really doing a disservice to these characters that you developed in the filler. Yeah, no, I would 100% rather it just end. And if you do want more content, I'm fine with there being a spin-off, as long as it's like in your heart, like, yeah, like in your heart, that it's non-canon or something like that.
I'm a goblin. If I like it, I want as much content as possible.
See, I want more content, but I want good content.
No, I'll take shit. I'll take garbage content.
Okay. Oh, well, fanfiction.net's right over there, man.
Let me rephrase it. I want more content that I don't have to read with.
Hey, man, YouTube's right over there, man.
That's true. That's true.
Fan animated content is at an all-time high. Or at least for the people who choose to be animators. God rest their souls.
There's always Dragon Ball is huge for it. Or the Dragon Ball universe is huge for it, where they've got like the what if scenarios. Like, what if Goku, after showing signs of Ultra Instinct, was locked in the time chamber for 4,000 years. It's always they're always so interesting because it's like that's bullshit. That's not how that works. But
Yeah.
all sorts of fun. All right. Well, and with that side tangent after the outro,
Double side tangent. That's what happened.
double podcast style. We're gonna end it here. We are not gonna raid out to anyone. I've decided that on podcast days, I'm just not gonna raid out to anyone. We're just gonna end it here. But
Yay.
make sure you join me and I believe Star tomorrow for It Takes Two. I think we're gonna finish that up tomorrow. And then Wednesday, I'm not sure what we're doing. We'll figure it out. And then next Saturday, stream will be canceled. I will give you guys weekly updates for that. So, you can come here and we will give you those answers and whatnot. But in about 2 to 3 weeks, you will be receiving more content from the Dragon with Izakai D&D. And it will be fun, Dial. And there will be many of us. And it will be fun. And you will enjoy it. All right. Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Ha, they can't hear you. Sleepy just said that I was a top.